Females are weak. At least, that's what people think. But as someone that's watched over 110 serial killer movies, I'm gonna highlight some female killers that are so brilliant they could easily take down any human being, including Dexter Morgan. This video is unique because every killer I mentioned today is the best in their field. You don't need to know any of these killers because I'll provide you the full context on every single one and why they'd all cook this Bay Harbor butcher. I've divided the killers into 3 important categories: the assassins, the intellectuals, and the supernaturals. First, let's talk about the assassins and why they would crush Dexter Morgan in combat. Let's start off with the Bride, maybe the best female combatant in any movie ever. She's fast, she knows how to kick, she knows how to dodge, and the craziest part is this is all her basic stuff, because around halfway into the movie, she takes out an army of trained men with one sword. This massacre goes on for several minutes and the details are wild. She's plucking people's eyes out with her hands. She's slicing people clean in half. After killing over 100 men, it gets to a point where some literally just give up and they cave in like a little dog getting spanked. If you think Dexter stands even a 5% chance after seeing this slaughter, you're just delusional. I'm so sorry, sweetheart. This is a guaranteed kill. And I can sprinkle in a few more. Let's talk about Lorraine from Atomic Bride, because she actually takes things up a notch. She's able to take out armed men with just her hands, even using specific jiu-jitsu rolls to disarm them. Dexter's injections are cool, but they're not gonna work against this. It's a very key maneuver you don't see many people doing. A lot of movies and traditional media shy away from specific combat techniques. You'll see they mainly rely on firearms. But recently, even in shows like You, we are seeing what a trained woman can do even against a man. And yes, I know Dexter can also do martial arts, so it's a good thing she has a lot more to her than just takedowns, like shooting a gun with immense accuracy or using people as literal body shields. I also want you guys to know these assassins, they all work for a powerful organization. For example, here Lorraine works for the official military intelligence known as MI6. This is a resource that allows her such deep information on her targets. So if Dexter unfortunately becomes the one she seeks, she will have all the information, all the resources to make it happen. And yes, Dexter also works for Miami PD, so he also gets access to some resources, but Miami PD, military intelligence. There's levels to this. This is also a guaranteed kill. Next, before we move on to maybe the best female killer I've ever witnessed, we can also quickly add Anna from this 2019 movie, another Russian assassin taking down waves of men even without a single bullet in her gun. I included her because I want you to notice this very specific scene that shows her lightning fast reaction. In the middle of one of her missions, she's walking towards this hallway when suddenly she notices this man, and what we see is an instant turn of her body going a completely separate way. It was an instant automated response, and it's such a fascinating reaction that shows the level these people operate at. Dexter can't catch someone that can spot and then leave danger this efficiently. Please remember, all these women are trained to kill, while Dexter learned to kill. There's a very big difference. Now, before we move on from the assassins to the intellectual woman, I quickly want to mention the perfect woman assassin. You guys mentioned her so many times in my comments, and oh my god, is she a beast of her own. Let's quickly address Villanelle from Killing Eve, because she is so disturbing on a profound level. Like, I'm not kidding, sometimes I will sit there at like 1:45 a.m. like, I am scared of Villanelle. I will literally sit there and just think about how much fear she put inside of me. The reason this brown skin is so scared of her is because Villanelle doesn't have an ounce of empathy for anything.
Good legs.
Well, except for her job as an assassin. Please focus on the level of dedication behind her kills. She will become a servant at a dinner party, all to get closer to her target, just to efficiently kill her using an untraceable fragrance. Or she will become a nurse, just to operate on her target, giving her yet again another very easy kill. Are you guys noticing the pattern yet? Unlike other assassins that have to brute force their way into a kill, she just puts herself in the right positions, right occupation. So the murder itself becomes a very effortless step, and that's the key. And it's almost scary. She treats murder like an art, something to be mastered.
I want to do my job. really well.
There's times where her boss has stopped her from taking on specific missions, so she will literally steal the job file from the boss just so she could go execute it. And she's so confident in her ability that when she finds out people are after her, there is an immediate excitement that comes across her face.
A woman in London is leading a department just to find you. No, it's not a good thing.
Do you guys know how insane it is to be excited by a threat? But this makes sense. She loves a good chase, because if you've seen the show, you know she's murdered so many people, it's gotten boring to her.
Why are you doing this to me?
I have absolutely no idea.
She finds this entire occupation too easy. I know it's a crazy thing to say, but I think she would be more happy to find out Dexter is after her. It wouldn't be a challenge, rather a point of excitement for her. I know we talked a lot about her mindset, so I'll quickly rapid fire some other useful attributes. She knows how to assemble and use heavy firearms. She fakes emotions, making her completely unreadable. She can wrestle much larger people, take control of them, and then bite their neck off. And of course, she has very key strong connections, being able to break out of prison whenever she wants. If you guys don't believe any other woman today could kill Dexter, fine. But if you don't believe Villanelle could kill Dexter, you dumb? Are you dumb? Tell me, are you dumb? Please make sure you guys are subscribed by now, because these women are only getting deadlier as the video goes on. If you guys can truly handle the violence, let's now move on to the second category of killers, the intelligent ones. These ones are the masterminds at killing because of their strategy, their planning. Let's start off with maybe the best planner in movie history, Amy Dunne. For some quick context, Amy Dunne is a hyper-intelligent book writer who lives her life as an experiment. Like, the main plot of the movie is her creating a mastermind plan to fake her own death so she could run away and frame her husband for the murder. Like, what? We know she could have just asked for a divorce, but she didn't because she loves this stuff. The strategic lies, the manipulation, the staging of her murder. And you're probably wondering, how does any of this tie into killing Dexter, Kosho? The reason she would kill him is her dedication to these lies. From the day she met her husband, she was faking her entire look, her entire personality. For 2 years straight, she pretended to be this cool girl, just so she could try and make things work with this man, even though eventually you would find out this is her real self. Already, I want you guys to understand that 24 months is a very long duration. It would fool basically anybody. If she became Dexter's wife and molded herself as the perfect girl in his eyes for 2 years straight, by then it's almost impossible for anyone to guess that she's playing a character, a fake life. And by then, it's no longer seduction, it's love. Unlike in my last video of this series, where we talked about Catherine Trammell, who's another intelligent author who uses lust and seduction to get men into bed, eventually killing them there, Amy takes it a step further and spends years at this. So it's no longer just seduction and hot looks, it's the building of a perfect relationship to bring down every single possible guard. Of course, Dexter would get in bed with his 2-year-long girlfriend. What? And as soon as that happens, she's smart enough to capitalize on that opportunity. She could, 1, use a wine bottle to fake bruises on her private area and then frame Dexter for assault, locking him away for good, or 2, she could literally just slit his throat during intercourse and use those same bruises to back up a claim for self-defense. This is literally foolproof. Yes, you can argue that Dexter is great at spotting people, sussing out their dark nature. He did it for Miguel, for Lila, for Hannah, but respectfully, none of them are this secretive about their intent. And more importantly, none of them have this reputation. The public perception about Amy is that she is loved by everyone.
And we'll need to realign the public's perception of Amy. Make them stop seeing her as America's sweetheart.
She's a famous book writer who's very well respected by the general public. She's gone to Harvard and Yale and is presented like a celebrity in the movie.
Your wife is amazing, Amy?
Yeah.
So of course you're gonna build trust with her, just like you trust Hannibal Lecter because he's a top-level psychiatrist. In that level of dedication and deception, she is taking down anybody. She's a guaranteed killer. Now, before we get to a very interesting part, make sure you join my Discord, link in description, if you want to talk about serial killer shows or movies, or maybe even feature in one of my YouTube videos, all that great stuff. Now, there's a funny little thing that happened. This next killer isn't in the original script I made, but I'm adding them now because we're talking about deception. We just talked about how Amy is able to deceive Dexter, which brings his guard down, which is why she's able to kill him. So what about 2 high school girls that are also murderers? We're talking about Sadie and Michaela from Tragedy Girls. These girls basically run a crime-related social media page. To get views for this page, they murder people so they can get the up-close footage, create news stories, and be the first to post this stuff online. They do this over and over again throughout the movie, capitalizing on the hype around each murder that they secretly created.
You can find more information about the recent unsolved murders on our Tragedy Girls Twitter page.
And these girls could also easily kill Dexter by deceiving him because they are the complete opposite of his demographic. As we all know, Dexter is always concerned about the males, the male abusers, the male stalkers. If he lived in their town, the last person he goes after are 2 high school children. It just won't happen. In the show, I don't think he ever once attacked a child. It's just not who he really is. These children can use that against him. Let's lay out some potential scenario. Maybe Dexter comes to them because he's interested in finding the murderer, so they say, oh, we have information on the murderers, let's meet here. And then from there, since his guard is down, they put poison in his water, or simply stab him in the back. Blah blah blah. I personally believe he would never see this coming at all. Even better, if these girls are smart enough, they become friends with Aster. Now they're all friends, they're all familiar. He's not gonna go against Aster's friends. What are we talking about? Which is why I surprisingly would say these 2 high school girls would guaranteed kill him. It's also not like these girls look sinister. Maybe if these girls look like May or La Femme, people that visibly look like there's something wrong, then maybe. But there's none of that on their faces. It's gonna be impossible to read this off of them. And before we proceed, I want to ask you guys a very tricky question. Do you think it's more impressive for a woman killer that kills using her raw strength and combat abilities like the assassins? Or is this more intellectual, deceptive route more impressive? Because it's 2 very different tactics and they both require a lot of skill. So I don't know, let me know what you guys think about that. And what do you know? This is a perfect transition into a woman killer that possesses both the physical and intellectual traits. Let's talk about Erin from the 2011 movie You're Next. Basically, Erin is this sweet girl who's enjoying her time at her boyfriend's family dinner when all of a sudden murders start erupting. Fast forward into the movie, we eventually find out people in this family actually planned the murders so they could gain the inheritance money from everyone else. Unfortunately for them, killing Erin, a clear witness to all of this, is a much tougher task than they thought because Erin is no ordinary woman. So if Dexter becomes one of these evil children, believe me when I say she would make such easy work of him. Let me explain how. Firstly, as we note here, Erin went to some survivalist camp growing up.
Kind of a weird childhood. I grew up on a survivalist compound.
Which is where she learned so many crucial things that help her survive. She knows how to set up booby traps, putting them at every possible entrance. So the killers have to hit these nails upon every entry point. Or if she wants to be even more dangerous, she'll make an axe trap right against a door, and anyone that opens it will have the exact same fate as this cop. Already, you'll start noticing her secret edge, which is the fact she's great at playing the defensive game, setting up things beforehand, which allows her to kill with such ease. Like, she was able to hit this guy with an axe by simply waiting at a window, removing any strength imbalance between a male and female. I believe this defensive strategy is the best way for a woman to kill a man like Dexter, because for once, you get the upper edge. If you guys have seen Urban Legend or Orphan, both the killers in those movies also do a special thing where they kill using their surroundings. Like both killers auto-reverse cars to murder their victims, or Esther burning down a treehouse with someone inside of it. Killing Dexter using natural causes is so much easier than attempting a head-to-head brawl. Now we see how Erin is also taking full advantage of that, using her trap setups.
Because you guys keep getting beat up by some girl!
But that's totally fine, because now our third category, we can quickly touch on supernatural killers. Because these are the women that will kill him the easiest out of anyone. I know some people are gonna say it's unfair, Dexter's a human, what the heck? But the video is about killers who can easily kill Dexter. So let's take realism and just throw him out of the window for a bit, okay? Just relax. Let's start off with maybe the most attractive murderer, Jennifer Check. She's hot enough to seduce anyone, and after she lures you in, she will bite all over your body like a savage, killing you instantly. Mainly because of the fact she simply isn't human. In the movie, you see that after a ritual goes wrong in the forest, things go very backward and we find out there is now a demon inside of her. This also means is that if Dexter attacked her and hit her with literally anything, she could regenerate in an instant. Combine that with the fact she has superhuman strength and can also just fly. I think it's laughable if anyone thinks this isn't a guaranteed kill. The same thing goes for Carrie from the 1976 movie. She's able to literally move things with her mind. such as hurling knives towards her mother, setting her entire high school on fire without moving a muscle. Going back to the main pattern of this video, the best killers are the ones that can create unfair fights. So if she's able to just fling things at Dexter like this, poor main Dexter genuinely can't do anything. Even if Dexter finds himself charging at her in her car, the car itself will move out of the way and combust on the spot. Like, what? I know it's unfair, but these killers aren't meant to be fair. This is also a guaranteed killer. Put her in the list. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the final ranking of every female killer that could easily kill Dexter Morgan. Let me know any video ideas you have that relate to this stuff, because it's so cool to talk about. Make sure you click this playlist for more serial killer content, and make sure you hit the subscribe button. I'll see you guys next week. Bye-bye, deuces.